Hey everyone, your designers are here.
I'm Anita at Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home.
We have tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today. So let's get started.
This is episode 247, Plan Your Fall Decor. And the show notes for today's episode can be found at decoratingtipsandtricks.com/247.
And our episode today is sponsored by ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, you really need to know about ZipRecruiter. Every business needs great people and a better way to find them. And you get that with ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter learns what you're looking for and identifies the people with the right experience and invites them to apply to your job. And in fact, 80% of the employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. The right candidates are out there. ZipRecruiter is how you're going to find them. And for Decorating Tips and Tricks listeners, you can post to the ZipRecruiter boards for absolutely no cost. So it's free. Go to ziprecruiter.com/decorating. That's ziprecruiter.com/decorating and just list your job, and ZipRecruiter is going to do the rest for you and find you the perfect candidate. ZipRecruiter is clearly the smartest way to hire. And all you need to do is go to ziprecruiter.com/decorating.
I feel like I'm in the presence of super experts on this topic because I know
do have a pumpkin obsession.
Yes, because Kelly and Yvonne, I know you both are big seasonal decorators. I kind of delve in it, dip my toe in it, but anyway, so I'm counting on both of you to have lots of great tips.
Yeah. I nod to a lot of the seasons, but I nod furiously to the fall. Yeah, because I just love
So
the fall.
cute.
You know, I have autumnal in my blood, in my bones, in my
In your hair?
history, in my hair, in various places. And another person who has autumnal in her hair is our pal Laura Lasky. And Laura, the other day, you little devil, she posted pumpkins already on her Facebook page.
Oh, Laura,
and some
Laura.
people were like, no, no, no. And I was like, yes, I'm ready.
Well,
I'm ready, but it's super hot here still.
I know, but you know what? That's the thing. I think August is just, it's probably brutal where you are, Anita, and probably brutal in a lot of places where people are, you know, even in the East Coast, you know,
it's
northern
horrible
East Coast,
here.
it's super
Yes.
hot. And I'm kind of wrung out from fall, and especially doing what we do. You know, we've started to think about summer and spring, you know, where it's just always a little bit ahead, even if the temperature outside is not correlating what's going on in your head or your decor. You know, it's just like by August, I'm done with summer.
So, well, hey, I'm so done. Actually, I put a little blurb on my Facebook page a couple days ago and said, "Are you ready for fall yet?" And I got a real mixed bag, but people who love fall are going, "Yay, bring it on. We want fall."
Mhm.
But just because, I mean, next week the end of next week, I start fall on the blog.
Wow.
She's got a system.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Hey, I have an editorial calendar. Are you kidding? Anyway, and that doesn't mean I'm saying, okay, start fall now. But you see the title of today's episode is Plan Your Fall Decor. And I want to give people time to plan. So September 15th or October 15th, they're going like, oh yeah, maybe I should have put something up for fall.
Yeah, so we can give you some ideas because some of these
Yeah.
things you're going to probably need to go buy if you don't already have them. The things like the pumpkins, the natural elements. Obviously, if you're buying real pumpkins, obviously it's too early to do that. But some of these other things you can go ahead and get. Like, you know what I like to use, and I think both of you use them, are twinkle lights sprinkled in.
Oh.
You know, with your pumpkin.
Any time of year, but yeah.
I know.
sure.
Well, I like
Bring them on.
Right. Well, and I have them on they're on copper wire. And
Like the fairy lights. Yeah.
the fairy lights. Yes, yes. These are battery operated lights and they look so beautiful. And you're right. I use them at Christmas time all throughout the year, but these are, and you know, we need to do a topic on that of stuff to have in your arsenal to use year round. And then you just add your seasonal things to it.
Oh, that would be that would be a really good episode. Yeah. Very helpful. Well, you know what I have down in my basement? I don't keep many big boxes of things anymore, but I have a clear bin of fake pumpkins, and they're pretty great. And you can start seeing them at like Hobby Lobby, AC Moore, Michael's, those kind of stores. And so they're already out there. And here's the thing. I'm not so in love with orange pumpkins just because they don't go with my decor so well. I'm not saying they're totally
No, but you
out.
like orange with the blue and white though, right?
I love orange. That's what I'm saying. It's not totally out.
Okay.
But so what I do is I paint my pumpkins. I feel like Alice in Wonderland, the deck of red from the red.
The rose is red.
Yes, we're painting the roses red. Well, I'm painting the pumpkins like white, green, blue.
So now are you talking about real pumpkins or faux pumpkins?
No, I'm talking about my arsenal of faux pumpkins that I've cut the fake stem off, and I've saved the real stems from year to year to make sure if you have real pumpkins, you're popping those stems off and saving them and then gluing them onto faux pumpkins makes them look so much more natural.
And remember, we're all keeping them in our underwear drawers.
I was going to say that.
We can remember. If you forget, we're all keeping them in the same place, so we'll remind you.
Now, the reason we are saying that is because Yvonne found hers
it was a
one
towel
year in her underwear drawer.
Yes,
that's why.
yes.
If you've missed it, that's what's going on.
A couple years ago, I found a bag, like a baggie of pumpkin stems, way in the back of my underwear drawer, and I'm thinking, how did they get there? So if you didn't know the inside joke, now you do, and I'm sure our friend Julie got it first thing because she's one of her most favorite and faithful listeners. But anyway, yeah, so guess what we're all doing? So you know where they are next year. You're putting a baggie full of them in your underwear drawer. So once they dry out, because they could get a little bad if you don't let them totally dry out. So just zip them in, put them in your underwear drawer, and we'll remind you this time next year, okay, that's where they are. Get them out.
Exactly.
But anyway, painting pumpkins is so easy. Mm-hmm. And I use a Maker Studio, their chalk-like paint, which I love, Restore and Refine. And we'll put a link to that. Comes in all different colors. You can mix colors to make your pumpkins the colors you like. And also I have a link to, I painted pumpkins for a photo shoot a couple years ago, and I painted them whites and light blues and light greens, and they looked really cool.
Oh, I love the pumpkins. The painted ones, the real ones, the faux ones. They're just so classic. And I love a very natural look. I have a very light hand with my seasonal decor, and I'm not the most crafty person. I've said that before, so I'm not going to do a lot. So I'm not making a sign. I admire people that do that, but I'm not getting the saw out to do it. So one thing I saw on Pinterest that I thought was really beautiful was someone had taken a cloche with a base and put some moss in the bottom, and then a couple of natural pumpkins, 2 different sizes. So they had 3 elements in the cloche, 2 different sizes of pumpkins and 2 different colors. They were natural, real pumpkins. And then a branch with some yellow leaves on it, a tree branch with some yellow leaves.
Pretty.
And it was so elegant. It looked kind of botanical. It looked kind of like something you might see in a classroom, but it had kind of an elegance to it. And it was just beautiful. It just very simple. I don't think you have to go overboard to have something really beautiful.
And I think sometimes even less is best. I'm getting a lighter hand. I really want to decorate every nook and cranny. I mean, nothing looks cuter in an ironstone cup than a baby blue pumpkin. But, I think you're right, Anita. It's just, you keep it just like I used to dump the Santa sleigh all over my house. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Before we jump the pumpkin gun, I was thinking let's just back it up a tiny bit because I think September's also, even like now until October even, use apples. Apples are great decor.
I love apples.
And I have a propensity for green apples. I just love green apples. And we have red apples out on our tree. I mean, we have an apple tree that is just, it's like a wild child. We can't ever tame it, but it does produce apples. So we just we just let it go. And they're small and they're delicious, but they're not red delicious.
So
though.
if you're getting apples from the grocery store for part of your fall decor, I would suggest staying away from the red delicious because they kind of look like something you see all the time.
And they're not that good to eat. They're not that delicious.
Right, they're not. So you want it to look like you went out to your yard and you have an apple orchard behind your house, whatever, or farm. So you want it to look like you just pulled these out. So if some of the varieties of apples have more, maybe some speckled look to them. So go there and think not just about which apples would be delicious, but look at what apples would be the prettiest to display and maybe the most unique looking, and grab a bowl of those. And the other thing is, it's just fun to experiment with trying different types of fruits. So especially if it's an apple you haven't eaten before.
Or pears. Pears are fabulous.
I love
think pears are the
pears.
sexiest fruit ever. They've got beautiful shapes and they're part of the rose family. And I always say before even I knew this, they have such a perfumey scent that they're just so beautiful. And so they look great in the fall with some leaves, and get lemon leaves. I'm wild over putting lemon leaves with my fall fruit. I think it's
now.
Really
where do you get
nice
lemon
look.
leaves?
I see. Right now we have a Whole Foods, so I think I can get them there. But before I had to go through my florist. I wasn't lucky enough to have them in a grocery store. But I think lemon leaves I can now get at Whole Foods. So I'm really excited.
I've got a
about
Whole
that.
Foods 365. A couple of blocks from me, opening up in just about 2 weeks. I'm pretty pumped.
Oh, well, literally.
We'll see if it. I know.
Yes.
Pumped.
Literally.
Maybe you can take us there in a video and attach us to your cart.
We have. Well,
I have my Trader Joe's, but it's further away.
I know. My Instagram, the week it opened, I took pictures of it and thought, whoa,
Oh,
but
I did see that.
Thing.
See, I'm not the only one.
They had the police out directing traffic for 2 weeks. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
Oh, when it opened,
good
you
it
mean?
was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So go on. I mean, get apples there. They're organic.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health, potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT. BritBox just keeps getting better. The new Archie is amazing. And it's not the comics. It's about Cary Grant. Archie is the brand new limited series starring Jason Isaacs as Archie Leach, the man who became Cary Grant. From the award-winning screenwriter of Philomena, Archie tells Grant's born in Britain, made in Hollywood story, the dramatic grit to glamour transformation that led him to become one of the most famous people in the world. You are going to absolutely love the acting, but also the styling, the outfits, the scenery. It's the first time his story has been told in collaboration with his daughter Jennifer Grant and ex-wife Diane Cannon. The performances from Jason Isaacs and the rest of the cast are amazing. and it's only available on BritBox. So sign up for BritBox today to stream Archie and other fan favorites from any device. And we have a special limited time offer for our U.S. and Canadian listeners. Get 50% off. Yes, that's 50% off your first month when you sign up for a monthly plan. But only if you go to BritBox.com and use our promotion code DTT at checkout. You're going to love Archie. So head over right now and get 50% off your first month of BritBox. Use the promotion code DTT at BritBox.com. The real planners and the / gardeners, the would-be gardeners, are going to plant their own pumpkin seeds. I have to say my pumpkins are growing like crazy. Not the actual pumpkin yet, but the...
Wait. I forgot that you planted those.
Yeah. So they're just, the leaves are beautiful and they're getting those cool little swirly little viney things going all around. And I can't remember the name of the pumpkin I planted off the top of my head. It's like a pseudo Cinderella.
Yeah.
On a smaller scale, and it has this lovely French name. So I will add that to the show notes. I'm making a note to myself, add my pumpkin. But
are you going to take pictures?
Well, yeah, but I don't. When the pumpkins start to come out, I'll take pictures. I'll add the seeds that I used, and they were so fast, you guys. It was almost like Jack and the Beanstalk. So it was so satisfying. Yeah. I mean, even if I don't get a pumpkin, the fact I have spent so much money on these raised beds and all this dirt, and then it's like I'm going to get first of all, there's something eating my tomatoes. So this is off topic, so I'm going to stop talking about that, but it's making me very frustrated. But my pumpkins, even if I don't get a pumpkin, I'm enjoying the fact of how they are growing so quickly and beautifully and just covering this whole raised bed. And I don't even know what's going to happen when the pumpkin starts.
Don't you think those vines
be so kind of big?
Plants with the vines, they kind of tend to be fast growers.
They are. They're anything from the squash family. Yeah.
And if you have kids or grandkids, what a fun seed to plant, because literally you make a little mound and you put between 6 and 3 seeds in, and they look like the pumpkin seeds you would eat. So it's not this bitty tiny little thing that, little kids can hold them in their hands, and then you stick them in 1 inch down, give them some water, and basically blink and they're growing. So fun. So we'll see how those go. But another good thing to grow is this kabocha gourd. You see them at Whole Foods, and I actually have a funny Whole Foods kabocha, and I don't know if I'm saying it right.
I don't even know what that is, Kelly.
It's a green gourd that actually looks like a pumpkin, like a small pumpkin, but it's green.
Oh, is it a dark green?
Yeah, it's kind of dark, but it's kind of
I probably have gotten them at our local stands, but not known that's right. What it was.
But it may not be something you buy because it's kind of too big. Like you wouldn't necessarily think about it as a decorative gourd, like those kind of, bumpy ones that you see around all the time at the holiday time. But if you look for this particular kind, they're super long lasting. They are, at least here in my Whole Foods in California, you can get them almost all year, which leads me to my funny story, because when Romantic Homes was coming, they wanted it to be fall, and they kind of sprung fall on me way after fall was over. So, sure, I could pull out my bins, and sure, I bought some faux pumpkins, but, you wanted some of the real deal, but you can't get them in May or June in Southern California. So I bought the squash, and I went into my underwear drawer and I took out my real stems and I stuck a pin in the stem, a long pin, and then I stuck the other end of the pin into the top of the gourd, and voila.
Pumpkin.
With a perfect stem.
Okay, girls, do you realize we've been talking half the show about a pumpkin? This tells you how much we love pumpkins.
It was actually several pumpkins.
Well, but let me just say this. If you get a pumpkin, you can always plant succulents in the top. Mm-hmm. That is such a fabulous look.
Yeah. Or even put faux ones in, but it's a beautiful look.
Oh, yeah. It's so easy. And then when you're done, you can just replant them.
Right. And the other thing I've seen that's beautiful are pumpkins on the seeded eucalyptus, especially the white pumpkins, the white Cinderellas and the little minis. Yes. They're so pretty on that.
Oh, that's so pretty. Okay. But today we're talking about planning, right? So we want to give our listeners ideas of what things they should do now, to be ready. So we're saying,
okay.
Definitely if you didn't last year, you're going to think about this planning next year. You're going to snap off the good stems and you're going to save them in your underwear drawer. Number one.
We're going to remind you.
Number two, if you're a gardener or you want to be, plant some pumpkin seeds immediately and get them rolling.
And number 3, get your faux pumpkins out and start thinking about painting them.
Yes, exactly.
And number 4, think about what's going to be on your front door.
Yeah,
Good
and then get the
one.
fairy
Now-
lights if you don't have those,
Right.
because you're probably going to want to mix those in with some natural elements.
Wouldn't they look beautiful on a fall wreath on the front door?
Yeah, she wants to talk about the front door for sure, Ski. But one more thing, quick one. If you like the branches look, we're not going to have blooming branches now because it's fall. So we're just going to have sort of architectural branches. That's something you either want to start thinking about ordering them from a florist, or if you're lucky enough to have a flower mart near you, or you can really get a fabulous selection of them online. So you might want to start looking around for the best prices now and get a few bundles of those to put in your galvanized pitchers, or really big tall ones you could put in your olive buckets or your crocks or something like that. And that's very dramatic for the fall.
I think that's a beautiful idea. And the other thing I wanted to add is now is the time to go ahead and get some tartans, get some plaids, get these throws. Because it may, especially if you want to get your family tartan, start looking online and go ahead and order that. So
Or
that
you
you'll
have to
be
make
already-
one up. You want to start now.
Right. That's right. Or start looming it yourself. So, but that's something that you would probably need to order. Those are kind of hard to find, especially if you're very picky about the colors. You're going to want to probably look online and find that and have that ready so that when you're ready to decorate for fall, you're good to go.
I have a source for that, so we can put that on
Oh,
the
good.
show notes. Let's go back to that front door.
Yeah.
So now's the time to pick out what you want on your front door, and either buy it now and save it. Then that you can check that off your list. So when it comes time to decorate it, you can sort of know, okay, I'm going to use like different greens and burnt oranges. So let me just sort of decorate around that color scheme. And also, if you want to make it, you can look maybe on Pinterest. You can actually look on my fall Pinterest board, because I've made so many fall wreaths, and get the supplies to make a fall wreath. It doesn't, you just maybe want to get the supplies, tuck them away, and then maybe the end of August, bring them out. Because it's really nice to have a wreath on your door right after Labor Day.
That is nice. That's a good idea. I was at Joann's yesterday, and I really went there for one thing.
Never
One thing. And I was like, oh, look at these. And then, they just do it to you. It's like 50% off. And then I'm like furiously on my phone, like the app, and I'm getting the other coupons. Like it's nutty what they do. But anyway, I did buy some extra things, but I bought some things to make a wreath, and they had such pretty ribbons, and I'm so excited about doing that. So that's the thing too. Like all of a sudden, as Yvonne said earlier, it's October 15th and you haven't made your wreath that you've been thinking about, and you don't have the supplies. And then you're like, I'll just slide into Christmas,
Sad. Don't be a slider. Don't be a
So another thing that you
slacker
can
and a
get
slider.
now, because they're probably already in the stores if you don't already have it, is the stalks of the dried wheat. Do you use those? Do you both use those?
I'm planning to use those.
Yeah, so I love the short stacks that are already tied together that you can put on the table, but I've also bought them in big bunches, and I have a huge gathering basket on my wall. I mean, it's over 3 feet tall, and I have just bunches of wheat stalks in there, and it looks so pretty for fall. So that's something else that you can go ahead and get now, because like we said, I mean, the fall stuff, I think it's already in the stores. So another thing that you can get for the fall are the deer sheds or the antlers. So if you don't live in a rural area, I mean, we just pick them up from the pasture, but if you're in the middle of a city, you can go buy the faux ones at the store. And those are great to mix in with those fairy lights and pumpkins and eucalyptus leaves in a big dough bowl, or a big wooden trough, or a tote box. They're great. Many different
Here's
things.
another thing that you need to be thinking about. Candles. I sort of run low this time of year. And I was digging through all my candles. I have them in one of my drawers of a curio, a big glass front. And I'm thinking, wow, these don't look that great. So I put that on my list to just grab a bunch of candles that will work for all of fall, because I tend, as the evenings get shorter, I tend to use them, more and more as the time goes along. Here's another thing. I think this is how you should start to plan. start about thinking about what colors you're going to use.
Good one.
I think that if you're a decorator, you're all about color schemes and having things be cohesive. And think about what are your colors that you're going to be into this year. I was sort of devoid of orange the last couple years, but I think I'm going to use a lot of whites with a little bit of really bright orange this year.
And that's going fun. To be my color. I tend not to do the orange so much anymore, but then you see all the pretty orange pumpkins. I mean, maybe you just want to keep the orange and the real pumpkins out on your front porch or your steps or something like that. But it looks so pretty mixed in with the white mums. And I told you about those mums that I planted after I thought they were dead. Mm-hmm. They're incredible. And they are surviving the heat wave that we have had. Like you can't, troopers.
Yeah. They're hardy. They're just hardy. But what I'm going to do is use white pumpkins, but I'm going to use bittersweet.
Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, I love that. I can
that.
get fresh bittersweet around here, and I think for most part, it's like almost like a barred plant, because if they see it, they'll dig it up or burn it because it's so incredibly invasive. But we still have some out in the fields around here. But I've got some great faux ones that I use year after year. So, think about a color scheme, pick out maybe some things this year that you need for it. It doesn't need to be expensive, and you don't need to go crazy. Do you girls collect velvet pumpkins?
Oh, yes. We do.
Yeah, we're velvet pumpkin lovers here. And that is something to think about. Velvet pumpkins they're an investment, but oh my goodness, pick one up every year and tuck it into a centerpiece or tuck it into a vignette, because they look gorgeous. Even if it's just one. They're so incredibly beautiful.
I like that idea, Yvonne, of adding to them, because they are kind of expensive, but if you get there are velvet pumpkins, and then there are velvet pumpkins,
Yes.
right? And you know,
With
you know the
feathers.
difference when you see
Yeah.
it. And some of the velvet pumpkins have fake stems and they're plastic and all that. And that's
Yeah.
fine if you're saying, you know what? I'm just going to tuck this in and I don't really care and it's going to be cute and I only want to spend $9.99 or something like that. But if you want a really incredibly beautiful piece of decor that you would have on your center table or something like that, you may want to think about investing in the better made ones, and they have the real stems. You know, somebody somewhere had obviously a big collection in their underwear drawer, and they started to make a company that made these.
Yeah.
And so they have tons of the real stems, and that makes such a difference. And
Be still my heart.
right?
Yes.
And as Yvonne's
Yes.
saying, like maybe get the big one, and then next year treat yourself to the medium one, and maybe throw in a baby too. So
And they have
cute.
acorns. The acorns
they
I'm
do have
like
acorns.
wild over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's something to think about. Just, I'm not a big collector. That's just not my nature. But oh my goodness, you give me a velvet pumpkin, I'm a happy camper.
Well, and I don't even think you need a large collection for it to look great. I think three,
No.
three's our magic number. If you've got three, you're in great shape. Yeah.
Also, think about this. If you have a focal point like a dining room table or a vignette for a coffee table or your mantle, those are always things I plan first because I want that focal point to be done. So you don't need to do it, but you need to I sit in my family room and go what would I like on this? And I may go to Pinterest and, think, oh, I've got this huge fall board. So I've got all kinds of different ideas on it. And I think, oh yeah, well maybe, and what do I have? In that way, I'm not buying all new and that wastes money, or I'm just adding to my collection that I've curated, and it is a curated collection, and then trying to disperse those in my different rooms. So get your creative juices going and get the wheels turning. And right now it's a great time just to be perusing your favorite blogs, Pinterest, magazines, and coming up with the ideas for those real big focal points in your house.
Yeah. And you know what you might want to do in conjunction with that is take out your bins. If you're a bin girl or guy and you have some fall bins, take them out, go through it, purge. If you've got those fake leaves and they're squanched, chuck them, or, maybe you can spray paint them and save them. But, decide with what you have there. Am I ever going to use some of these pieces anymore? Are these the colors I want to be using in my house now? And if they're not, you know what? Do yourself and someone else a favor and donate them to Goodwill or give them to a friend now, because then they can use them for fall, instead of giving them to them at Easter time when no one really wants them. This way they could then start to plan their fall decor, and you are now, you've cleaned up your bin, the direction you're going in. And then if you need to add something here or there, you can do that.
Kelly, that's freeing. That gets rid of your stuff you no longer need, but it gives you you can inventory what you have. And it makes decorating so much easier. And something I have in bins now, I actually have a big clear plastic bin for this. Actually, I have a couple of them because I have different sizes, are pine cones. Don't think pine. I know. Listen to I know. Pine cones. You can see that we really love fall. Pine cones are not just for Christmas. Pine cones are a fabulous fill-in for the fall. Lots of texture, lots of warmth. And even Anita, who doesn't do a lot of decorating, I bet you pine cones with pumpkins in a dough bowl makes your heart pitter pat.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, and talking about cleaning out the craft closet, I gave away a bunch of craft supplies, which was kind of ironic because I don't really do crafts, so I don't even know why I had all that.
Why did I have these?
I'm like,
I want to get into your material that you don't want anymore. That's what I want.
Yeah, it is weird. The craft thing, you just get in a place and you're like, yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to make that. You get all the stuff. And then sometimes I think, what was I even going to make with all of this?
I know.
What did I do? And I don't even want to see the receipt at the bottom of the bag.
Oh, yeah. Don't look. Don't look. What's done is done.
Exactly.
A cautionary tale for the next time. Here's something else. If you have hydrangeas around your house,
Oh,
Yeah, don't cut them all down. They
You were talking all my
dry.
love languages today.
Hey, fall is our love language anyway. You don't want to cut them all down. Save those beautiful stems. Now, I used to put them in my tree at Christmas, which was gorgeous, but I don't go that direction anymore. That's like 20 years ago, for me anyway. But they are gorgeous in a beautiful ironstone crock with sitting in a tobacco basket with a whole bunch of little pumpkins all around it and pine cones. So use them as you would use flowers or cut flowers or plants.
Yeah, that's a really nice. And it softens the wheat sheaves too. They soften the vignettes. It's just so nice to tuck that in there.
And they get that beautiful papery feel with those saturated, beautiful fall colors.
Mm-hmm. So pretty. And we all are fans of the willow ball, the omnipresent willow ball.
Yeah.
It's great in every vignette. Sometimes when I'm like, what else could have been? It's just sort of such a staple. So if you see some nice willow balls out there, and again, willow balls are not all created equal, but you can get away with, kind of just a little wonky willow balls. I like just even the tiny ones in a clear vase are just fun, or the medium-sized one, it's probably like as big as a nice-sized orange. That seems to me a real go-to for fall vignettes.
The texture is so fabulous.
Yeah, you've got like a lantern and you've got something else, and that's your third thing. So easy. So you might, if you don't have those in your bin or your collection of fall items, you might want to consider picking up 3-pack of those someplace as well.
Here, I'm going to sort of piggyback. Also, I've made burlap balls. You take a styrofoam ball and use strips of burlap and you wrap it. It is perfect alongside the willow balls and the pumpkins, the acorns and the pine cones. Absolutely. And then I just have one other tip that I have to get in. Mm-hmm. I don't use my hunter boots for this. I did that one time and I just thought they were too precious. I buy very inexpensive rain boots. I have a pair of red ones and I have a pair of black and white plaid ones, and I have big feet. I'm just going to put it out there. So my size 10s they look horrible in a vignette. So I buy like a size 7.
Oh, how funny.
I just buy the really cheapest tall rain boots.
If you're going to cheat, why not just buy a size 5?
Yeah, well,
usually the size 5s are on sale.
Yeah, well, that's true. But I just get them online, really inexpensive, and I keep red ones for Christmas. And I have a pair of these black and white plaid rain boots that are tall, that are so adorable.
I've seen those. They're really charming.
Branches in them and bittersweet in them, and I stick them like by my door with a pumpkin sitting there, and they are the cutest things. So that's now, because
tip. And again, that's something you wouldn't just have around.
Yeah, and if you have a size 7 or under, you're golden. You can actually wear them.
And now I wear my hunter boots. Mine are a little special because mine are hunter rag and bone.
Yours
for hunter.
are super cute.
Mine are super cute, aren't they? Yeah. Every time I wear them, I could have sold those boots off my feet.
I saw them. I think I saw them for sale in the UK or somewhere, and I thought, because I really wanted a pair. I really wanted a pair.
I think they discontinued them, so maybe it is only someplace else.
Because I just have the plain. I just have the plain hunter boots. But
yeah, my kids got me my hunter boots a couple years ago for Christmas. But you know what I did? I went online and got monogram decals to put on either side of them for hunter boots. They have them.
Oh my gosh.
I think it was an Etsy shop I went to.
Oh, how
yeah.
cool.
And so I've got this great monogram on each side of my boots.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I got them just because for use at the farm, because the other boots would only last maybe 6 months and then they would fall apart. I mean, that's when you just decide. That's kind of our mantra here too, is go for quality, invest. And my hunter boots have lasted years, but I was having to replace my boots every 6 months. So yeah, they're great.
They are great. And I mean, they've been around for 100 years, and then they had this, hundreds probably of years. And then they had this resurgence in popularity. So yeah, they're definitely a good investment.
And they last because, like you, I've got a big garden. I'm still in it. I'm out in the farm fields picking illegal bittersweet out of the fields. Don't tell anybody that.
No,
though,
we would
okay?
never. No,
All right,
no one will know
you.
now.
And here's another thing to start collecting or buying. I love corks, like corks from wine. And Kelly, you could do this in a breeze. I mean, this would take you long. She's our wine lover.
Sort of weird.
No, you're a wine lover. You're our
Hang
wine
on.
lover.
Okay. Oh, open the champagne.
Only because you're our wine lover, but
I am
a
a
wine
wine
connoisseur. And I collect them, and then I can put them in like a little glass square container, vase, a little tiny jar with a lid. And there's something about that texture that looks fabulous with anything. You don't use them individually, but put them in something glass and put them in a vignette. Just try it. They are amazing.
Yeah, that is really great texture.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, this has been so much fun today. And obviously we could go on, and
We're done.
Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I have to take my daughter back to the dentist, so I got to roll.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to get in the way of that.
Oh no, let's get that over with. So anyway, thanks so much for sharing some time with us. We really appreciate it. Remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time. Thanks so much for listening to Decorating Tips and Tricks. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, then subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. We're coming at you 3 times a week, and so we want you to keep up. So head over to any of your podcast listeners or iTunes and just sign up to get notified when we have a new episode. And also, don't miss out on the sales at bespokedecor.store. Head over there, bespokedecor.store, and sign up for our insider email list. And that way you won't miss a thing that's going on there either. And Anita and I are taking Bespoke Decor on the road. We will be heading to Round Top, Texas, to the famous Round Top Antique Show. We'll specifically be at the Blue Hills area. I understand that Round Top is humongous and is going to completely wow me. I've never been before. So if you've never been, maybe this will be your year as well. And if you have been and you're familiar with Blue Hills, then for sure, come and see us there. Let us know if you're coming, and we'll give you all the details that you need to know to pinpoint us in the sea of antiques and fabulous things. So we'll be there at the end of September through the entire show. We're going to have special events at our booth. There'll be stuff to buy, us to chat with, and cold drinks to be had, because I understand it gets pretty steamy there in Round Top. And if I have anything to do with it, there'll be some wine, ladies. So definitely head over and visit us in person in Round Top, Texas, coming up the end of September 2018.